Well, as you think about your life, think about this story. As she stood in front of her fifth grade class on the very first day of school, she told the children a lie. Like most teachers, she looked at her students and said that she loved them all the same. However, that was impossible, because there on the front row, slumped in his seat, was a little boy named Teddy Stoddard. Now, the teacher, Mrs. Thompson, had watched Teddy the year before and noticed that he didn't play well with the other children, that his clothes were messy and he constantly needed a bath. In addition, Teddy could be unpleasant. It got to the point where Mrs. Thompson would actually, hard to believe, take delight in marking his papers with a broad red pen, making bold X's, and then putting a big F at the top of his papers. And at the school where Mrs. Thompson taught, she was required to review the child's past records from the years before and that year, and she put Teddy's off until the very last. However, when she reviewed his file, Mrs. Thompson was in for a surprise. Teddy's first grade teacher wrote, "Teddy is an excellent student, well liked by his classmates, but he's troubled because his mother has a terminal illness, and life at home must be a struggle for Teddy." His third grade teacher wrote, "His mother's death has been hard on him. He tries to do his best, but his father doesn't show much interest in Teddy at home, and I feel that soon this will affect him if some steps aren't taken." Teddy's fourth grade teacher wrote, "Teddy is withdrawn and doesn't show much interest in school. He doesn't have many friends. Sometimes he sleeps in class." Well, by now, Mrs. Thompson realized the problem, and she was really ashamed of herself. Deep within, she felt even worse when her students brought her Christmas presents wrapped in beautiful ribbons and bright paper, except for Teddy's. His present was clumsily wrapped in the heavy brown paper that he got from a grocery bag, and Mrs. Thompson took pains to open it in the middle of the other presents. Some of the children started to laugh when she found a rhinestone bracelet with some stones missing inside, and a bottle that was a quarter full of perfume. But she stifled the children's laughter when she said, "This bracelet is beautiful," and she put it on and dabbed a little of the perfume on her wrist. Well, Teddy Stoddard stayed after school that day just long enough to say, "You know, Mrs. Thompson, today you smell just like my mom used to." And after all the children left, she cried. And on that very day, she quit teaching reading and writing and arithmetic. Instead, she began to teach children. Mrs. Thompson paid particular attention to Teddy, and as she worked with Teddy, his mind seemed to come alive. The more she encouraged him, the faster he responded. By the end of the year, Teddy had become one of the smartest children in the class, and despite her lie that she would love all the children the same, Teddy became one of her teacher's pets. A year later, she found a note under her door from Teddy, telling her that she was still the best teacher he ever had in his whole life. Well, 6 years went by, and then she got another note from Teddy. He then wrote he had finished high school, third in his class, and she was still the best teacher he had in his life. 4 years after that, she got another letter from Teddy saying that while things had been tough at times, he'd stayed in school, stuck with it, and would soon graduate from college with the highest of honors. He assured Mrs. Thompson that she was still the best and favorite teacher he had had in his entire life. And then 4 more years passed and another letter came. This time he explained that he had gotten a bachelor's degree, decided to go a little further. The letter explained that she was still his best and favorite teacher, but now his name was a little longer. The letter was signed Theodore F. Stoddard, M.D. Well, the story doesn't end there. You see, there was another letter that spring. Teddy said he had met this girl and they were going to be married. He explained that his father had died a couple of years ago, and he was wondering if Mrs. Thompson might agree to sit at the wedding in the place that was usually reserved for the mother of the groom. Well, of course, Mrs. Thompson did. Guess what? She wore that bracelet with one of several rhinestones missing, remember? And moreover, she made sure that she was wearing the perfume that Teddy remembered his mother with. They hugged each other, and Dr. Stoddard whispered in Mrs. Thompson's ear, "Thank you, Mrs. Thompson, for believing in me. Thank you so much for making me feel important and showing me that I could make a difference." And with tears in her eyes, Mrs. Thompson whispered back, "Oh, Teddy, you have it all wrong. You were the one who taught me that I could make a difference. I didn't know how to teach until I met you." Oh, by the way, Teddy Stoddard is the famous Dr. Teddy Stoddard, who has saved countless lives in Iowa at the Methodist Hospital, at the Stoddard Cancer Wing. Dr. Teddy Stoddard. Can you make a difference in someone's life today? Believe in angels and then return the favor. I'm Rick Dees.